All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into an AI model that literally sent shockwaves from Wall Street all the way to Washington. I mean, this is a story about a piece of tech so powerful that the very people who created it took one look and said, yeah, no, this is way too dangerous to ever let out into the world. So, get this. Worse than a nuclear bomb. That's a pretty heavy statement, right? To figure out why a piece of software is getting compared to actual weapons of mass destruction, we've got to go back to this really unusual, high-stakes meeting that happened. And believe me, this was not your typical quarterly update. We're talking the Treasury Secretary, the head of the Fed, all in the same room. And they're giving this incredibly stark warning to the biggest bank CEOs in the country. The message was simple. A new kind of cyber threat, it isn't just on the horizon, it's already here. And its name is Mythos. Okay, so what exactly is Mythos, and why is everyone so worried about it? Well, at its core, it's a new type of AI, sure, but what it can do, it's just unlike anything we've ever seen before. I want you to think of Mythos as, well, a superhuman hacker. It's an AI that can scan software, find the absolute tiniest, most hidden weak spots, and then map out precisely how to break in. It's just so good at its job that its own creators, the AI company Anthropic, decided it was way too dangerous to ever release to the public. And what's its main target? Something called a zero-day flaw. And let me tell you, Mythos is unbelievably good at finding these secret doors. I mean, during testing, it found thousands of them in the kind of software we all use every single day. But this is where things get really complicated, because that incredible ability, it creates this huge dilemma. You see, the very same power that makes Mythos a potential savior for cybersecurity also makes it an absolutely terrifying weapon. It really all just depends on whose hands it's in and what they want to do with it. So this technology really has two faces, doesn't it? On one hand, you can use it for defense to lock down our most critical systems. But in the wrong hands, it could attack those very same systems. We're talking banks, power grids, water supplies, all at the same time. Anthropic knew this was the deal, so they tried to build a cage for the incredibly powerful tool they had just created. So faced with this really powerful dual-use tool, Anthropic did something pretty unusual. Instead of just releasing it out into the wild, they created a special program designed to keep it contained while still, trying to use its power for good. The whole idea was pretty smart, actually. They wanted to create a team of good guys, right? A group that could use Mythos to find and fix all the internet's secret doors before the bad guys even knew they were there. It was basically a proactive defense strategy on a massive, massive scale. And they brought in the heavy hitters, the biggest names in tech and finance. We're talking companies that run the absolute core infrastructure of our entire digital world. The plan? It seemed really solid. Like a totally responsible way to handle such a dangerous technology. But yeah, it didn't work out perfectly. Okay, and this is where the story takes a really critical turn. That secure box that was supposed to keep Mythos contained, it was breached, and not in the way anyone saw coming. So naturally, the immediate fear was that, a hostile government or some super sophisticated hacking group had gotten their hands on this cyber weapon. So who was it? Who were these people? Well, the reality was a lot more surprising. It wasn't some hostile state actor. It was a small group of tech enthusiasts on a private Discord server. They weren't trying to cause chaos or anything. They were just curious. But that simple curiosity, it completely blew the lid off a whole new reality of AI risk. And that right there is the question that set off alarm bells all over the world. Because the breach proved that even with the best intentions, trying to contain something this powerful is just incredibly, incredibly difficult. So, the news of Mythos' power, combined with the fact that it had been breached, well, it created a global scramble. Suddenly, it seemed like every government and every major corporation wanted to understand this new threat. And of course, they wanted access. All of a sudden, access to this one AI model became a huge geopolitical issue. It instantly created this new global divide, right? You had the nations that were in the loop, and then everyone else who was left out in the cold. This just massively raised the stakes in an already tense AI race, which brings us to the final and most urgent part of this story. Because the thing is, the revelation of Mythos didn't just expose a problem. No, it started a countdown for the entire world. Here's the kicker. Anthropic themselves estimate that other AI models with similar cyber attack powers will probably be developed and out there within the next 12 to 18 months. So you see, this isn't just an Anthropic problem anymore. This is the new reality of what AI is capable of. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that we've officially entered a new era. The race is on, for real. We have this critical but very limited window of time to use tools like Mythos for defense, to patch our systems, to strengthen our infrastructure before these kinds of capabilities are everywhere. You know, the whole story of Mythos shows us that this isn't some theoretical question for the future anymore. It's a question for right now. The threat of AI-powered cyber attacks, it's here. And the race to defend against them, well, it has already begun.